What's up, guys? Welcome back. There's problems with this table, but I think it's still good. Still a good table. It's gonna be good. Um, this wood is air dried, and it reads like about 10% on the moisture meter I have, which means according to the book, the pine is actually more like 15% or 13 or 15% something. So it's air dried. It's not really totally dry. So probably the same with these pieces. So what I did was I made the table, which was good learning experience, and it turned out pretty cool. I like the design. I like the look of it. I looked at it for weeks now. But anyway, after I had it done kind of the first time, it was pretty flat. And then we had a whole bunch of heavy rain and humidity, like real humid, and it just like sprung, the sides just like sprung up. And then I sanded it. So I was sanding on it after that extreme humidity and rain, and then it got dried out after that, and now it's kind of the opposite. The middle, there's like high spots in the middle, and so it really needs to be flattened again. And I got some thickness things I can work on. But so like you can see here, I mean, this was flat before, and now you see the big rock there. It gets slightly better over here. And then the other thing is these legs, this whole frame assembly is attached to the bottom. And so when this moves, it's changing the feet. And like I said, I adjusted these feet several times, and I've had them close. But anyway, it seems to be kind of stabilizing now. But so my idea is just, I was gonna, re-sand all this, re-flatten it again, and fix the feet, and then, make some adjustments. But I watched another video where a guy was saying to wax the wood, or treat the wood so it'd be really slow drying, or it wouldn't crack. Because if this just dries out completely, like there's a chance like you could get cracks in the top, or cracks in the frame or something. So my thought was just to oil this thing and get a look at what it will look like finished. But in like 6 months, 6 months to a year or something, I'm going to stick it in the house and see what it does, and then it should be stabilized totally, and then I can adjust the feet again, and I could re-flatten the top one last time and then finish it, so it would be done at that point. So it's not too bad. I still think it's going to be a good table when it's all done. But basically just working with this wet wood, this air dried wood has thrown some problems into it. So the better option would be to have some good dry wood in the shop for a period of time and let it dry, and then work with it. But I got more wood over here. I'm gonna end up making another one of these, or a couple more different pieces with this same style, but I'll probably end up just getting it rough or close, and then setting it to cure before I finish it, because you just kind of chasing it. So let me show you some close-ups here. So if you look down here, I had these feet flat at some point, and you can see how much they're sitting off of the table. So the feet, that has changed several times, and that's due to, like I said, this top. You can kind of see it there. It's a little bit There's kind of a hump right in the middle, and then because I had sanded it, it's still fairly close. I think this side's a little thicker than the other, so there's just some adjustments to be made. But this is from underneath here. I kind of sped through it on the video. I rushed it as usual, but this is pegged straight through this wood in about an inch in at an angle. So these are pegged. These are pegged in so that that was just so the top, or you know, in case the glue fails, it's like a mechanical connection for the top to the frame. But next time I think I'll make the frame independent. These seem fairly stable. These things were like on the tree forever, like dead branches, and we finally trimmed them. This came from like a white pine, some kind of a large needle pine tree, and it's actually really strong wood. I tested a bunch and bent them and tried to move them, and they're very strong. So anyway, that's the story with this, and you know, it's a little discouraging, but it's close. It is, I think it'll be good once it stops moving and really becomes stable. But so then the idea was to look at what it would look like finished, and also, you know, help, you know, by sealing the wood, it will dry out still eventually, but it will not, you know, maybe not be prone to cracking and things. So that's my thoughts on it. I've looked into it a little and checked some videos and things. So I'm thinking it's kind of like stable, a little bit stable now, but I don't know. I mean, I could go ahead and sand the top, and I could even adjust these feet. And when I glued these in too with epoxy up here, and I think I had some weird tension on the clamps. You know, like I clamped it, and then that didn't help things. Like I said, the base should have been kind of independent from the top. So that's just some ideas on, you know, doing it again and how this might turn out. Next time I think I would put boards across here and attach the top separately. So that's the idea. And I mean, you could go even more with the detail, more detail work, and like I filled this with some stuff, and things are already kind of cracking or shrinking. It's just changing a little bit. So that's just my critique on it. And like I said, I'm in between resanding, resanding the whole thing right now, or just putting oil on it. And I kind of want to see what it looks like. Yeah, I might just go ahead and sand it and get it closer now and then oil it. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll just show you what it looks like finished. But despite my discouragement here, I think it's still going to be a good table once it all cures, and it's going to be fine. You know, the idea originally was it was rustic, supposed to be rustic, and you know, but you can spend a lot of time detailing and sanding, and you know, some of these cuts were a little rough when I was doing the material, and you could have left some of these stubby knots. So but that's how it goes, you know, and that's what that's things to work on. And actually more excited about just doing another one, and just deal with the problems as we go. So, but I'll figure this out, and then I'll just show you what it looks like with the finish on, because I just wanted to, I didn't show that in the last video, and I just wanted to show what it looks like finished. If you just work at it a little bit over time, it will kind of stabilize. So so then if I look at it later on, it might be not so far off. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you the finished look with oil. Okay, that worked really well. This is feeling much better about this now. This side was an 1/8 inch taller, so I took more off that side with that piece of plywood. And then this side I used a 1/16 inch piece of plastic first, and then to cut it, and then when it got closer I went right on the table saw base, which put a few scratches in it, but they're real light. It should be fine. I'll sand that out later. That's not really cool, but you know, do what you gotta do to get the job done. But so it's sitting nice and flat now, and it's the same height, so that's good. And then all I gotta do is sand this top down quickly, flatten it out again, and then I'm gonna oil it and see what it looks like finally. About this table now because the feet are sitting nice and flat, and the top is still flattened from yesterday, so looking pretty good. When I was sanding with the grain, you know, this wood, it's got a couple of soft spots. I hope to remedy. It's not perfect, but you know, hope to remedy that with the oil. And so I'm gonna hit this again with 120 on the belt sander, and then I think I'm just gonna sand it by hand a little, and I'm gonna round these edges, and I'm gonna round I'm gonna use the 1/8 inch round over this time just to round the feet, and then give it a once over again, and then I'm gonna oil it. So I'll finally get this oiled, and then I'm gonna put it in the house for 6 months to a year and hope for the best. So there you go. Get this table done, and I gotta get back to painting and other woodwork projects. Next time I think I would leave a little more of these stubs. Kind of a shame I took them down a little too much, but you know, it's fine. Let's do it. You could use a rag to wipe this on, but I like to use the brush because it really just kind of puts a heavy coat on, and you know, it's easy enough to move around. So Get me a little chair. So I'll go ahead and coat all this. I think it's already soaking it up a little bit, so we'll see how much it takes, and then flip it over, do the top, and then that'll be a wrap for now on this project. And then I'll do some other ones. But actually, I really enjoyed this one. I liked working with the wood. I like you know, the branch shapes, and then even just planing and sanding. It was just enjoyable. It was just fun to do this kind of project. So I got some more wood. I'm definitely gonna do a few more pieces like this. I was already thinking about doing like a longer, maybe like a taller table, almost like a couch table. But look at that color, it's coming. It's really soaking it up too. Hopefully I got enough. It's like it's gonna eat up some oil here. So put a nice heavy coat. I'll keep applying it, and then probably do like a buff it down a little bit. But yeah, I like using the brush. It's just able just to smear it around, get it in there, get it on there thick. Especially in this case, it's eating, you know, it's eating up the oil. So